Hi everybody! In this video I want to talk about how to present the aim of your research paper or thesis. This is obviously super important because without a clear aim you don't really have a paper or a thesis, and there are different ways of doing it depending on which field you're in. So that's why I wanted to give you the three main ways in which this is done in different fields. So let's get started. Before we dive right into it, and before I give you the three typical ways in which you can state the aim of your paper, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that little bell button to get notifications when I post new videos so you can continue improving your academic English. And if you're new here, my name is Marek Kiczkowiak and I run academicenglishnow.com, where I help university students and researchers write better academic papers and thesis. So stating the aim is obviously crucial, and there are different ways in which you can do this depending on the field, but they can be basically broken down into three main ways. Now, before I give them to you, it's important to know that none of these three ways is better. All of them are correct. They are just different ways of doing the same thing. Which one should you choose? Well, this will clearly depend on which field you're in. This can also depend even on the individual preferences of your department, of your supervisor. So if you're not sure which of these three ways you should choose, then definitely take a look at some of the theses that have been published in your department or research papers in that particular journal that you're writing for, and notice how they state the aim of the paper or thesis. So the first way, and the most typical probably way of stating the aim, is to simply have a statement of the aim, to have a sentence that typically will start with something like this paper or this thesis aims to, and then you will have the statement of the aim. For example, this paper aims to establish whether a relationship between providing students feedback and grammar accuracy exists. Notice that the verb aims will typically be here in the present tense. However, this does not mean that you cannot put it in the past tense. In some papers, you will also see the statement of the aim in the past tense. In other words, this paper aimed to establish and so on in the past tense. The second very typical way of stating the aim or the purpose of your thesis is using research questions. Now, what will typically happen if you use research questions to state your aim is that first you will anyway have a very general statement of the aim. For example, it will start by saying this paper aims to investigate the effects of feedback on students' writing. And then you will say something like, more specifically, this paper aims to answer the following 2, 3, 5 research questions, however many research questions you have. And then you will list the research questions one below the other. The third way of presenting the aim of your paper is through a hypothesis. So this could be done through a statement such as this paper hypothesizes that, or this paper predicts that. You could also use we in all these cases that I've mentioned so far. So you could also say we hypothesize here, or we predict that, and then you say what you think the result of your paper will be, basically. So you could say something like, we predict that giving students regular feedback on their writing will have a significant impact on the accuracy of their writing. So to sum up, the three ways of stating the aim of your paper are through a statement of the aim. For example, this paper aims to. Way number 2 was through research questions, where you basically list the research questions one by one. And the third way was through a hypothesis or prediction, where you predict or hypothesize what the result of your experiment will be. Remember, none of these three ways are better. Always try to find out either from your supervisor or through analyzing other papers or theses published in your field, which way is preferred in the specific field that you're in. If you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more, then definitely take a look at my 5-day academic writing challenge, where in just 10 minutes a day for the next 5 days, you will significantly improve your academic writing, and I posted the link to it right below this video.